Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and this is a look at Elite Dangerous CQC in VR. This is where I take a look at the game through the Oculus Rift. This is the Condor then, and doing this in CQC is the only opportunity that I'm going to get to show you the ship in VR. It's a very small ship and this really does feel like a fighter, more so than any other ship in the game, including the Eagle and the Viper, which when you're in VR actually feel like quite large ships, but this one feels like you're flying a regular jet fighter. So I'm being shot at here, but I'm going to have a quick look back and you can see the cockpit is absolutely tiny. There's not even any door here, so literally you have to get out in and out the ship through the canopy. You can see the lock there for the canopy where it opens up or slides back. Paying too much attention here to the ship and not enough attention to the combat, but never mind, let's cut to the next part. So combat in CQC in VR is a very different affair to what it is in the main game, and that's because of the size of the ships you're fighting. In CQC you're obviously fighting relatively small ships, and they only have to go around about 700 meters away for them to lose their sense of 3D and depth. Once they're about 700 meters, they just essentially become flat 2D targets. That's not a case that the game actually converts them to sprites, but it's just a case that the eye tends to lose the sense of depth on any objects of that sort of size once they reach that type of distance. Contrary to that, in the main game, things are a bit different because obviously you're fighting ships that are a lot larger and your eye can pick up both the scale of the ship and its geometry even when it's quite a distance from you. And that is exactly what can be said for the structures here. You can see their geometry very easy. All the angles, all the shadows, every highlight and every angle, it's all there, and it's very, very impressive when you're up close and even when you're at a distance like I currently am here. And with the Condor here, it certainly makes skimming the stations feel very fast indeed. And of course with the new line of sight feature, it also helps with the head tracking in VR, because you can obviously track your target a little bit better. Once they go out of sight, you can just turn your head and attempt to follow them, something that's not quite so easy without any form of head tracking. And even on the video, with parts like this, I'm sure you can get a sense of the speed there. So the ice fields are pretty nice in CQC, and the asteroids are very densely packed here, meaning that they are great to fly around and awesome to navigate. Remind me a lot of the early days of beta. For some reason all of the contacts seem to have disappeared from the radar. I'm not sure if they're right over the other side of the map now or if something's gone wrong and I'm in an instance all on my own. If I listen, I think I can hear signs of combat, but I'm going to take this as an opportunity to have a look around the structure here and show you what it's like a bit. I've got to tell you, if I've learnt anything from CQC, it's that we need more structures within Elite to fly around. Even if they're there for no other purpose than to just add a bit of flavour to the game, there'd be nothing wrong with having some older structures like this that are perhaps abandoned and in disuse. It could also perhaps bring some elements of this type of combat into the main game, although the main game has the combat at a slightly slower pace. Being able to fly around structures like this would change things up. Now when I'm using the Oculus Rift, one thing I always talk about on these videos is the sense of depth and the sense of scale. And nothing quite conveys the sense of scale as much as these windows here. I think it's reasonable to assume that each one of these windows is roughly the size of a regular apartment or office, and there we've got 4 floors. So very impressive structures, and it does bring into question what it's going to be like when eventually we get the ability to walk around these sort of places. Are we only going to be able to walk around singular rooms, or are they going to map out entire buildings and areas like this? If they do, that's going to be a heck of a lot of areas to map out. Perhaps it's something that can be done procedurally in some way or another. And very quickly, let's take a look at the insides of the Condor here. There's not a lot to show as it's very small, but nonetheless we can step up and we can try and look over the edges a bit. And as you can see, due to the very small size, I'm already starting to clip through things a bit, but there you can see the wing and one of the guns, and the same on the other side if we just lean over that way. You saw early on that there's nothing behind the seat here other than just the rear of the ship, so that's pretty much it. CQC in VR. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.